Good evening and welcome again to Propel Show. My name is Tamara Holmes and I am your host this evening. We are so excited that you guys are joining us tonight. I'm particularly excited about this show because I learn a lot of information. I attend a lot of trainings and I get a chance to hear and get information and learn from the best. So I'm excited to share that with you guys tonight. We are live, so if you want to call into the show, you can call at 312-738-1060 because tonight's topic is CEO Boot Camp. That's right. Go get your notepad, grab your tablet, grab your phone, get a piece of paper. You will need to take notes on today's show. If you have started an organization, you want to start an organization, you're in the process of transitioning or growing your organization, this is the show you do not want to miss. Again, we're live. Call in if you're a business owner, the founder of a 501c3 nonprofit organization. If you're serving in leadership, call in 312-738-1060. We are live. So I want to first give a shout out to Deidre Bates and Resilience Partners. We are a proud partner of Resilience. If you want to find out more about Resilience Partners, you can visit them online at resiliencepartnersnfp.org. Find out more information about the work that they do. Again, the founder is Deidre Bates, and she has helped the Aerostar Avion Institute tremendously. We also want to tell you a little bit about our organization. We are the Aerostar Avion Institute. Our focus is aviation and aerospace education from kindergarten to career. Thanks to all of you guys who watched last week and saw Miss Georgina Johnson with the Federal Aviation Administration National Black Coalition of Federal Aviation Employees, who was with us sharing about the conference that they're having right now in Chicago. And the best thing that we did this week was host over 200 kids with the Youth Aviation Day at Midway Airport, and then we had the Aviation and Aerospace Expo at the Palmer House in Chicago. So to find out more about the Aerostar Avion Institute and our programs, you can visit us online at the aerostaravioninstitute.org. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and you actually can find out information and watch videos and clips of news highlights. And this is the special part right here. Sign up to join our mailing list to learn more about our programs and current news. We always get asked, how can my kid be a part of the Aerostars program? Well, this is how. Join the mailing list. We will be launching a brand new website in the upcoming weeks, but we are head over heels in love with all things aviation and airplanes, and that is the Avion Institute. Right into today's subject. I cannot imagine a better way to start off going into the third quarter. We know a lot of organizations are looking at the bottom line, looking at their trajectory and their goals that they had set for the year, and they might be thinking, you know, we really didn't do that well. We didn't meet our mark. We didn't hit our target. Well, today is for you. Today is CEO Boot Camp. I'm giving up all the secrets today. So if you guys are interested in sharing your stories or talking about what you've learned, CEO Boot Camp is the topic for the evening, and I'm ready to get started. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, again, we are live, 312-738-1060. I have to keep remembering to say that because we are live on CAN TV, Channel 21. And so just make sure that you are watching and staying tuned. The first thing I want to talk about tonight, again, is the organization. So a lot of people have a great idea and they want to start a company, a business, a nonprofit. They just want to get started, but they don't know where to start. There are a lot of different resources in Chicago. You can go online, the Women's Business Development Center. I told you, get your notebooks out, get your iPhone out, get your pad and pencil out. I'm dropping all the nuggets tonight. I'm talking about free information that you can get to start your business. The Women's Business Development Center in Chicago offers help with business plans and all different types of services. You have the Law Project in Chicago, which is another non-for-profit. They actually offer free legal services for startups, articles of incorporation, bylaws, helping you create policies and procedures handbooks for your staff. So you want to utilize these resources. Another one that we have that you can find is the Small Business Development Center in the city of Chicago. SBDC is huge. You guys can visit their website, visit Small Business Development Center. These resources, I told you, I'm spilling all of the beans tonight. I'm dropping all the nuggets on free resources that you can get in starting your company and bringing that vision to pass. Again, call us with your comments or questions if you want to know anything about starting your business, or if you're stuck, you have a issue or dilemma that you're dealing with. 312-738-1060. So let's get started. Moving on with some of the top challenges that organizations face within their tenure of starting up. So top CEO's challenges. This is CEO Bootcamp, you guys. If you are ready to get started, there's some things that you're gonna know, that you have to know, that you need to be on top of out the gate. The first one is human capital. Now this is everybody's problem, not just in corporate America, but in the nonprofit sector too. In corporate America, you find now that it's really hard to keep good staff. You have to maintain competitive pay, but for the most part, people are looking for a culture. They're looking for pay first, but they're also looking for the culture of their company. So we're going to get into leadership versus management, being a leader versus being a boss. But right now, we're looking at top challenges that are faced by CEO, and human capital is one. So the first thing that you want to do is have a really good recruitment process so that you always have people flowing into your organization. As people leave, they decide to quit, they get fired, they no longer, their services are no longer needed, you actually phase out that particular job. So you want to make sure that you're paying really special attention to your employees and how you are recruiting. This might require you to look into some human resources, human HR resources, human resources that can help you along the way. And again, reach out to the Small Business Development Center, Women's Business, the Small Business Development Center, and the Women's Business Development Center here in Chicago. The next thing is customer relationships. Now, as nonprofits, a lot of people think, well, we really don't have customers. Well, you do. You have clients. When you serve people, they are your number one priority. And as a corporation, it's really easy, well, not easy, but easier to kind of define that target market, set a dollar amount or a revenue stream directed with that target market. But you also have to look at being able to facilitate growth, being able to manage your customers and what they like and what they need. I mean, you can have a lot of customers one month, and then the next couple of months you might not have many. So the second thing that is a top challenge for CEOs is customer relationships. There are some great CRM tools out there that you can use. CRM is customer or constituent resource management. There's Infusionsoft or, nonprofit, Neon, these different services that allow you to build your constituent base. So get on Google and find the one that's best for you. But the best tools that are going to be great are the ones that are free. And these are the ones that you can find online for social media marketing that allow you to have a threshold that doesn't make you have to pay before you reach over 1,000 or so served. The third thing is innovation. And I'm going through these really fast. Really quickly, I told you, get your pen and paper. Take notes. You're going to want to watch the show over and over again. You're going to want to dock it because I'm dropping a lot of nuggets and resources for you to follow up on. We are live. You can call in 312-738-1060 with your CEO questions or comments if you're building your business from the ground up. We'd love to hear from you. The third thing is innovation. And this can be pretty tricky in the market. Industry is changing so quickly, different products, different tools, different means of being able to get things done. But you really want to make sure that you're forecasting. Innovation is all about seeing things that other people can't see. I know with the Aerostar Avion Institute, when we first started 10 years ago and we said we wanted to teach aviation to children, people were like, how are you going to teach kids aviation? That seems like too hard, or something that was, relegated just to academic institutions and schools. But I knew that there will be a day that we would need to fill a cyclical gap in hiring, which happens every 20 or 30 years in any industry. And so innovation was a huge part of us being able to ride the wave of success that we've hit recently, just because we were able to see and identify a track that other people just weren't looking at or preparing for. So when you're looking at innovative space, you definitely want to understand your market, do the research, look up any studies that have been done in your particular area of service or your area of expertise. And that's another thing. As a CEO, you need to be the subject matter expert on what your organization provides. If you are a CEO, call in now, 312-738-1060. We want to hear from you. The last thing that I'm going to talk about on this particular point, the CEO's challenge, is operational excellence. Now, this is really hard for any leader, any manager, but excellence starts from the top down. And what we really want to encourage today is for all of you guys who are leading organizations and working with companies to, number one, burnout is real. Don't do that to yourself. There's a lot of support and help out there and people who are willing to volunteer. Those who ask are the ones that receive. So don't go without asking for the help that you need to run your organization. It's very important when operating in the spirit of excellence that people have different roles and responsibilities. And when you can't spread out the work, there's no way that you can operate in the spirit of excellence and on the level of excellence if you're doing any and everything. Now, I know my team might be watching and they're like, is she really saying that? Yes, I am saying that because I know, and you guys know that I know firsthand, that delegation is hard. Finding good team members can be hard, but when you have good team members, utilize them wisely and learn how to delegate. So we're going to get into talking about a manager versus a leader. So what does this mean? What does leadership versus management mean? What is the difference? Well, if you look at these two images depicted on the screen, a leader is a person that's actually heading the charge. They have the most responsibility. They have the most forethought and insight into the vision, or they should have the most insight into the vision of the organization. But a manager is literally the person that everybody feeds information back to. So you really want to make sure that you have the right people in the right position. And a lot of times the leader can't be the manager, especially if it's the visionary. The manager is the person that's going to be delegating and doing things at a very measured pace. They have managing the day-to-day operations, managing staff, maybe managing budgets. But the leader is the person that actually sets the criteria and the ramifications that everyone that is in management should be following. So they actually set the guidelines and they lead by example. So one of the things that we show here is that there is some overlapping when it comes to leadership and management. Accomplishing goals, mobilizing resources, and explaining the vision. Both of these are very, very, very important. And the reason why I wanted to go straight to the overlap is because once you understand the big picture and what your objectives and outcomes are, you really can begin to get a focus on what leadership should be doing and what management should be doing. And for nonprofits, this looks like, for leadership, your board of directors and the executive director, and the management looks like the executive director and the staff. And this is something that I'm still learning, is growing on me and growing with me And the growing pains are real, but I'm excited about the opportunity to be able to grow. Accomplishing goals, mobilizing resources, and being able to explain the vision are the top 3 priorities and outcomes that you should be looking at as an organization. Leadership is focusing on goals, selling it. So you have to be able to sell it in a way that you can get the buy-in from the membership team. This is really important. Taking risk. You should be taking the risk. The management team should not be taking the risk. The team, you should be taking the risk and being able to field the different opportunities that's pushing the innovation and the work forward. Go against the grain. I know that this was huge. This is huge for a lot of organizations, especially startups, who really see a lot of people doing the exact same thing. And I've heard people tell me so many times, so many people have written books about finance. So many people have homeless shelters. So many people are already serving women in domestic violence. But that doesn't mean that you can't go against the grain and meet those exact same objectives in a different way. Motivate your team. You should be motivating your team externally. They should not always have to be self-motivated. And sometimes, but it's okay to break the rules. If the rules are confining you and binding you as a leader, make measured and calculated risks that does not put your team in jeopardy, but you definitely want to be able to be flexible when it comes to the rules. And this is where you work with your other leadership counterparts to see when it's okay to break the rules, and then be able to sell it, that this is the reason why we want to go in this direction. Inspire trust. This is huge, because without trust, anything else that you do within the organization, nobody's really buying it. And foster ideas. Now, these ideas should not just come from the leadership team, but they should also come from your management team and your staff. Focusing on the task. This is really important, because you want your management team to be focused on the task while you're focused on the vision. If you're selling it, then they should be able to tell it. This means that you articulate the vision in a way that your team can repeat that vision, can believe in that vision, and can then tell it and share it with the community that they're serving. Minimizing risk is very important. You take the risk as a leader, but if you're a manager, you minimize the risk, because that falls directly on your staff and the people that's coming up under you. The risk taking should be done at the highest level, because they can afford or should be able to afford to take those risks. You should be instructing while the leadership team is encouraging. So you're actually delivering the message in a way that's measured, that's calculated, and that's very concise for the team to be able to gravitate towards the vision. And explaining the vision, which is an outcome, is one of the biggest things that you can do through instruction. Go with the flow. If the leadership is breaking the rules, you follow them, and let the hammer come down on the leader. But at the end of the day, it's your objectives to be able to execute and to go with the flow. Expect control. That means if anything is out of control, that's in your wheelhouse to get things back into control, not the leadership, because you again are managing and assigning tasks and are delegating. I hope you found going through that particular slide very helpful. If you want to see this information, we can make it available on our website. Again, we are live 312-738-1060. We want to hear from CEOs, but right now we actually can go to our social media. We have a lot of feedback right now on some questions that we asked on our social media feed about the best leadership tips. We got comments flowing in all afternoon, so I want to be able to share these with you guys. So the question was, what is your best leadership tip? I'm trying to get this in so I don't have to move it. What is your best leadership tip? So we have comments from, I'm just going to go back up to the top. It was some really great stuff here. Again, we are live. If you want to call in live and give us your feedback, 312-738-1060. Toya says, be authentic. Do not be afraid to provide constructive feedback. Honor your commitments. Empower those that you are leading to be leaders themselves. Embrace feedback from your team. Support and have vested interest. Support and have a vested interest in your team members' growth and development. That is huge. You really, really, really want to support your team. That's like the golden rule. You know, you treat other people the way you want to be treated. And being able to support your team is really the crux of your organization. Another thing that you really want to be able to do is embrace feedback from your team. Feedback is very, very, very important. And I know, you know, individuals that have type A personalities, they used to being right. That's called pride. We all suffer with it. And I do say suffer. I do mean suffer because it feels like suffering. And I know because I'm there regularly. But to be able to trust feedback for your team, especially the hard criticism. Another comment we have from Deonda Love is be transparent and trust the staff. This is a big one for me. Transparency is very huge for me because I always want to let my team know when issues are arising, if we're hopefully not missing deadlines, but coming up close on a deadline, or I need more from them, or communication is very important, and to be able to get feedback from your team, reliable feedback from your team is something that's really important. Lead from the head. Don't ask others to do what you are not willing or able to do. This is very important. There's so many leaders, and I don't like to call them bosses, that actually lead from behind, sit back and watch other individuals do the work that they could be doing or should be doing themselves. Another one is from Marquise Olison, lead by being water. First exist, listen. As water, you are in everything. Don't try to force control. Just feel where you are within the structure of the organization. Find the spots where everyone gets clogged or spilled. I really like the analogy of water because you want everything to flow in an organization. That's one of the things that we talked about falls in management's wheelhouse, is making sure that things are flowing. And things do get clogged. They will get clogged. But one of the main things that you want to do is to be water, be fluid, be dynamic, be able to move with change and fix those areas that needs to be fixed. But you can't force control. If your team really trusts you, they will surrender control. And if you really trust your team, you will surrender control, and vice versa. And so this is a great comment from you, Marquise. Sheila Hopkins says, I have several, but here's one. A true leader is one who loves more, not the one who knows more. Wow. I think that's great right there. You know, a lot of people think, you know, business shouldn't be personal, and your personal ideas shouldn't be business. But for any of you guys who have started an organization like I have from the ground up, that is your baby. So when I talk about, you know, loving, you know, what you do, loving coming to work every day, loving your staff, and honoring them, this is very, very, very important. It's not about knowing everything. It really is about loving the work that you do, loving the people that are in the grind with you, and showing appreciation for that. Discovering your ear is more important than discovering your voice. Wow, Sheila, that's good too. Leadership begins and ends with listening. Build a team that you can count on in the future. That is awesome, Mike. One of the biggest things about leadership and management is team building. And this goes right back to the very first thing that we talked about as the top challenges for boot camp. For CEO boot camp, and that is human capital. When you are building a team, you really want to build a team that's going to be there for you through thick and thin, be there for you, not just for the vision, but for the execution of the vision, and then for the celebration. And with that, I am so excited to have closed episode 4 of Propel Talk Show. We have, if you want any information, you can find us online at avioninstitute.org. Go ahead and sign up for our mailing list. Visit us at www.avioninstitute.org. Find out more about the work that we're doing and sign up right here on our mailing list. It has been a great evening with you guys tonight. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you shared a lot of the joys and experiences that I've had. And again, thank you so much for joining us with Propel Talk Show. This is Tamara Holmes with the Aerostar Avion Institute, and thank you to our partner, Resilience Partners NFP. Good night.